Yeah.
What brought that on?
I don't know. It was just my thoughts. You know, it's I don't know. I see a lot of it going on, and I've been seeing a lot of it going on for a long time now. Where you know, these so-called coaches that's supposed to be looking out for kids, and now all of these so-called trainers, supposed to be looking out for these kids for the better of the kids, and they have their own personal agendas, and it's affecting the youth in sports, especially in basketball, and the fundamentals is not being taught. The tough love is not being brought to the game, and when you allow a kid with talent to just have a pass for so long, it gets to a point where if he's able to get to this point, everything's come so easy to him, he has no work ethic, and I think it's affected our game a little bit. So it's just my thoughts.
You're like watching the NCAA tournament or something, or?
No, I was getting a massage actually. To be honest, no, I don't need to watch. I know what's going on now that my kids play AAU ball too right now, and I've been through it. I just know my mentors and my coaches, the people that I listed yesterday on those tweets, I know what they did, and they must have saw that I had talent, so they let me have it, and I think it's part of the reason why I'm who I am today as a professional, and what I do on the floor and off the floor, because they was just on me, at all times, and they never sugarcoated anything with me. I think that's very key.
You're talking more about coaching, like being ready to push you, say things that might make people uncomfortable, as opposed to sugarcoating.
Well, I think it all goes to the point of, are you here to coach the kid to make him better, or are you here to get something out of him? That's what it all comes down to. And I've seen both. In my day, I've seen a lot of these coaches that's running these programs, so maybe this kid make it, then they get hired by a college, or they get hired by a pro team because they was around this kid. But are you doing it for that reason, or are you doing it because you want to see the kid succeed? And I look, like I said, I look at my little league coaches and my coaches that I've had. They've all benefited from doing what they did, but they didn't do it because I got to where I am today. And my high school coach just won his 4th state championship at the same high school I played at. My coach before that was all-time winningest coach at the University of Akron, and so on and so on. But they wasn't doing it because they felt like they had something to gain from it. They was doing it because they loved the kids and they wanted the kids to be successful. So I think it's a dangerous thing. I don't think it gets talked about a lot. And it's a dangerous thing when it comes to the fundamental of the game and the fundamentals of sport in general. Because with social media now, you look every single day, you see, like I said, all these new trainers that never played a lick of basketball or never played any sport. I don't understand how you can teach a kid to do something you never even played the game of basketball ever. So it's weird to me. So that's my thoughts.
You see this, the problem is even with, like, you see it in some of the guys who are in the league today, that they were coached poorly growing up.
Yeah.
Did you hear back from Coach Joyce or Coach Jam right after you did all that?
Of course. I talk to those guys all the time. We have a very good relationship even up to this point. And it's very key for me to have a good relationship with them, as I continue on this journey. Because it's not only about basketball, it's about Coach Drew taught me how to be a young man as well, and how to grow to become a man, a family man. And Coach D gave me some very life skills growing up as well. So it's always key.
Back to what Joe was saying, how many years do you think it's been? Is the last 5 years, last 7 years of guys in the league?
I'm not giving you that information. Because then you're going to be able to see what guys.
Then we're going to know what's
guys that drafted 7 years, I'm not giving you that information. Nope. I'm not giving you that information. That's another conversation we can have. But I just think the game can be more broken down into, and it's unfortunate, but I'm not saying our game is bad. Our game is great. NBA is great, and obviously it shows in our ratings and the fans love the game. But we got a lot of kids that's not benefiting from it. I just think proper coaching, I guess.
When you don't get that, and then you have adversity or something like that, and if you don't have someone telling you the truth, what happens?
Well, I don't know, because I've always had it. My kids will have it, and the people that I grew up always had it. So I don't know. I don't know how they. I guess they kind of either quit or don't know what the maximum is. Like if you've never been to to the edge and beyond it, then you don't know how to approach it if someone challenges you. You don't know what to expect because you've never been in that position. And I saw a quote from the coach at South Carolina, Frank Martin, and which was actually a former teammate of mine. That was his head coach, Udonis Haslam. That was his head coach in high school. And he said that we keep blaming these kids on not developing or not being tough and not being smart, things of that nature, when it's actually the adults that we should be blaming, because we're allowing these kids to run over them. We're allowing these kids to do whatever they want to do instead of being tougher on them and just breaking down walls. And like I said in my tweet, I said, listen, I was pushed and kicked and loved, and then I was pushed and kicked some more. I mean, you have to have that in order to know exactly what you're gonna get out of yourself as a young man. So I just thought I think that's what kind of triggered it, because I've been thinking about it for a while.